Hello and welcome to Underpaid, Underpaid Gamers Podcast. My name is Justin. I'm sitting next to my co-host and friend, Tony.
Hello.
And today we're going to be covering a multitude of topics.
A plethora, if you would.
Plethora. One of the main ones, however, will be our most excited list of games coming out in the year 2016. So it's going to be a preview for next year. And some of the bigger games that are coming out. So, without further ado, let's play the intro.
Let's ado.
And we're back.
What's up?
Not much, man. How are you?
I got some stuff I want to talk about.
You always have the news.
I always have the news. Listen, there's some things that happen, and then we're going to talk about things that we've been doing in our meantime.
That's true.
And then we're going to talk about what you said games we're most excited for. I just wrote down games that are happening.
Yeah.
I'm mostly not excited for.
Well, I mean, when you made the list, I looked through it, and then I looked through all the games coming out, and I was like, why didn't he put this one in there? This is such a good game. And this one, and this one, and this one. So I just kept adding stuff. So I'm excited.
Because you're an adder. Listen, this just came out the other day. Did you hear about this kid that got a PS4 for Christmas? That was a wooden block.
Yes. I laughed so hard when I saw that video. He was so excited.
Giant penis drawn on it. It's just a big old wooden block. He got it from Target.
Really?
I don't know how that happened.
That's funny.
Like, they picked it up at Target, I believe.
Wait, we may have seen different videos. Wait, what was in it? A cardboard box?
No, a wooden block with a giant penis on it.
Oh my gosh.
They bought it from Target. They got it for the kid for Christmas. And it's so funny because there's a picture, not on this website, but there's a picture of the kid that's so excited. He's like holding it above his head like, I got a PS4!
Yeah.
And then he opened it up, it's just a wooden block. And I guess he just like went to his room for the rest of the day, which was Christmas Day and didn't do anything.
I saw a video of this dad who played a prank on his son, had a PS4 box, and he put in like a couple bricks.
It was
like gardening brick.
That is a different one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not know about this one?
I did not know about that one.
Dude, this kid is like a 10-year-old. And they got this one from Target.
Yeah, the one I saw, he was like 20. He's probably like 18 to 24, we might guess, on his age. And he was so excited. He's like, thanks, Dad. And then he opened it up, and his dad just started laughing. It was pretty good.
I think, it's a 9-year-old. Scott is his name. So he was super excited when he got it. And now he's crying and he's upset in his playroom by himself. And he wants to be alone on Christmas Day.
Poor kid.
It's so funny.
Poor kid.
I don't know how this would happen because if you look at it, they like shaped it to look like a PS4.
Yeah,
like someone put a lot of work into this.
They did.
There's the power line.
There's the power line, and it's the same geometrical shape.
They have screws in it.
Yeah,
and then someone just drew a big old penis and balls on it.
Yeah, let's say they tried to scribble it out though.
Well, they scribbled it out for that, and then it was on the news and they blurred it out. But hilarious.
Pretty rough on that kid.
I mean, I feel bad for the kid, but that's hilarious. I don't know. Like, I assume they'll take it back to Target and be like, listen, give me a PS4 and give me my money back. Like, give me a PS4 for free.
Yeah.
And maybe Target will do that. I'm not sure. Target has
I hope so. They just bought a block of wood for $300.
Probably 400.
Probably 400.
So we just talked about this. Polygon put out their list of top 10 games of 2016. Gosh. Number 6 was the Taken King expansion. Now listen.
What is going on?
That, number 6, it beat out Rocket League. It beat out Life is Strange, and it beat out Splatoon. There's another Soma.
That's so dumb.
Beat out. First of all, Taken King is an expansion to a game.
Right. Does
that even qualify? Because wouldn't you have to judge Destiny as a whole? Or can you just say...
I would say you have to judge it as a whole. I mean, the expansion, if it's good, will add to the value of Destiny.
Top 10 expansions of 2015, maybe.
Yeah.
But not like... Because, like, Life is Strange is the whole game. Rocket League is the whole game. Black Ops 3 I was on there. Fallout 4. Mario Maker. All these things are their new games. And then he's like,
oh, this expansion,
I love Taken King so much, I'm going to make a number 6. I'm like, shut up.
We don't like that. We disapprove of that. Polygon,
you're dumb.
Yep.
There was Assassin's Creed film. As we talked about before, Michael Fassbender is going to be the Assassin's Creed guy, the assassin. They released kind of a teaser trailer for it. Mm-hmm. Essentially, it's someone's voicemail message for the Abstergo Industries. Yeah. And they released it. It was a business card. Uh-huh. And on the business card was...
Did it say Abstergo?
Yeah. And on the business card was a phone number. And you call the phone number as somebody's voicemail. He's like, I'm out right now. Leave me a message and I'll get back to you. Something stupid like that.
Was his name Desmond?
No. However, they're bringing Abstergo into the movie.
Interesting.
Which is the worst part of Assassin's Creed, is the modern day crap.
I mean, it may be nice in a movie. I'm going to withhold judgment until I see it.
People that haven't played Assassin's Creed, which is probably hardly anybody at this point,
Right.
but like people that just go to the movies and like, oh, this movie looks good. Then they go in and they see this person like go into a memory machine and be like, what is happening? And why is this happening? Because everyone that plays a game just wants to play as the assassin. Nobody wants to ever play as Desmond.
That's true, but it adds some complexity to the storyline.
It
So
did,
for a movie,
it did between like Assassin's Creed like 1 and 3.
Yeah.
But everything else was just add-on BS.
Yeah.
That no one had like. I don't stop taking me back to present day. I want to go back and
talking about like Black Flag and Beyond.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like what's happening?
I can see that.
Mass Effect Andromeda, which is scheduled to release in 2016,
I'm excited.
lost their lead developer,
Oh,
so I don't know what's going to happen there.
what happened? How did they lose them?
I didn't look it up. I can look it up right now for you if you want.
I'm assuming they just left.
Senior director
Departs
with
from BioWare. Wow,
Well, that happened.
interesting.
I don't know what that's going to happen to Mass Effect. I don't know if I necessarily have high hopes for Mass Effect. Andromeda, I think it'll look super good.
Why are you coming at it this way, at this angle?
Why do I not have high hopes?
Yeah, why don't you have high hopes?
I never played Mass Effect until very recently, and that's only the first one. And I kind of powered through that one. I have the second one. I've kind of played a little bit, and then the internet just was in an uproar about how Mass Effect 3 ended. And they're all like, "This sucks. I hate this. This ruined the whole franchise." And that's the only experience I had with it because I never played the game. So I didn't love the game. So my first experience was a negative one, or my first like how I judged the game was negative, just based on what they were doing.
Yeah, I got Mass Effect 1 and 2 as they came out.
Yeah.
And so I absolutely loved Mass Effect 1. A little bit disappointed in the bad guys of Mass Effect 2. I thought it could have been better. But I still enjoyed the gameplay. And then 3, I was kind of upset at the end, but I kind of got it. I kind of understood.
People have said that it's the ending isn't bad. It's just not what they expected.
It is definitely not what I expected. Definitely not. A big twist at the end, sort of. I mean, you kind of have the choice. I don't know if I should. I guess it's been out for a while, so
Don't spoil it for me.
okay, I won't spoil it. Either way, it's kind of a different approach to the end than what you might expect.
I don't expect anything right now except that it's been.
So I would say it's worth a playthrough. I'm sure it's dirt cheap now. It's been out forever.
Dirt cheap. Genesis 3 is happening.
Dun dun dun.
That's exciting. Genesis 3 was supposed to happen last year, and then it got canceled.
For those of you who don't know what Genesis is, it's a Super Smash Bros. Tournament.
Like, yeah, it is.
Which I know not everyone knows, but Tony really loves Smash, and I like to play it with Tony and some other people.
I love competitive Smash.
He's a lot more into the competitive scene than I am, but I enjoy playing.
It's going to be legit. There's already over 1,800 people signed up for Melee, which is a lot.
There's quite a few.
Almost everybody's going to be there. That is anybody. It's going to be huge. That's happening January 15th through 17th. So a couple weeks. That's what I'll be doing, is watching.
Watching Genesis.
Watching Genesis 3.
So we'll probably get a report on that in the upcoming weeks.
Oh, you definitely will.
On the podcast.
Let's talk Marvel Netflix shows for a second.
Oh, yes.
Daredevil Season 2 photos were released.
I'm so excited. I love Daredevil. Daredevil.
I
love Daredevil.
Daredevil over there.
This is going to be good.
You saw the photos?
I saw the photos.
So Punisher's going to be in it.
Punisher.
Elektra's going to be in it.
Looks like
Stick is coming back.
He's crazy. Yeah. Foggy
Nelson's coming back.
I love Foggy
There's
Nelson.
a picture of Karen and Matt Murdock getting really close on the pool table.
Oh, yeah.
So you can assume that there's going to be
some romantic
live love triangle BS happening that you have to wade through, which is stupid because Matt
be
Murdock and Claire are totally together, and Karen and Foggy are supposed to be together, I think. So I don't know why they're getting all close.
Yeah, I don't know either. I read an article saying that the season 2 is going to be faster paced and have more romance. So we'll see what that actually entails.
I read that unlike season 1, where the Kingpin only shows up like the 3rd episode and on, Punisher's going to be like the very first episode, like the first 10 minutes. Which will be interesting.
It should be good.
Elektra's going to be there for whatever reason. I don't know what is happening there. We'll see.
We shall.
There are
I'll
also
watch it in one weekend, probably.
Probably, hopefully. Also photos of Doctor Strange.
It looks sick.
It does. Well, they're really, I mean, they're like stage photos for like Entertainment Weekly and stuff like that.
But they look so good.
But Cumberbatch looks so good.
He does. I'm so excited.
Do you know anything about Doctor Strange?
I know basically nothing about Doctor Strange. I knew so little that when I saw the pictures, I was like, wait, Benedict Cumberbatch is...
You didn't know that he was...
I didn't even know.
Do you know anything about the character Doctor
No,
Strange?
I don't. Who is Doctor Strange?
Let me enlighten you. I looked it up.
Is he a weirdo? Is he weird? Is he strange?
I'll let that one slide.
That was a pretty bad joke.
All right. So, first of all, I always thought Doctor Strange was like from the Alps or somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
And turns out he was born in Philadelphia. And then he had a brother that was born in Nebraska. So I assume he moved to Nebraska.
He's a Husker.
So he's definitely American, very far away from what I thought. But this is what I just looked up. So in the Marvel Universe, Doctor Strange, timeline, everything, the Ancient One is the Sorcerer Supreme, which guards Earth from outside forces, things like that.
Evil forces.
Yes. So the Ancient One is a good guy who has an apprentice called Carl Mordo, who tries to overthrow him multiple times. That's kind of what he does. So he's going to be the villain, I assume.
Carl Mordo.
Or Mordu.
Mordia.
However you want to pronounce it.
Okay. Being American too?
No, I doubt it. The Ancient One is in Europe. That's where I thought. Okay, so Professor X, Charles Xavier, when his legs get broken, he's visiting the Ancient One in the comics, and like some alien thing drops a rock on him, and that's what breaks his back. The first time. He breaks his back like multiple times. Right. Well, that's the very first time. So this is all in like Europe, the Alps, the Swiss Alps, stuff like that. So that's why I always thought that might be where Doctor Strange's lair is or whatever. But that's why I always thought of him over there. So when I was reading this, I'm like, he's from Philly? That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Philadelphia boy.
And Nebraska.
Fresh Prince.
Husker.
The Corn Husker?
Yeah.
So Doctor Strange is going to be the Fresh Prince of the Supreme Sorcerer, I guess. Sorcerer Supreme.
Interesting.
Anyway, so here's some backstory. Here's his origin story, I guess you can say. So he has an older sister, I believe, and a younger brother. The sister is Donna. The brother is Victor. Hold on. Okay, so his sister, Donna, got hurt somehow, and Doctor Strange helped her. Doctor Strange, otherwise known as Stephen Strange, helped her get better, and then that like inspired his love for like medical field work.
Okay, so he's a doctor.
He's a surgeon.
Ooh.
Yes, he's a doctor.
Doctor.
PhD Strange.
Oh.
Strange PhD. MD. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Probably both. Anyway, so he did that. He went to 1 year at pre-med at New York College. Came back after his freshman year. Went swimming with Donna, who suffered a cramp and then drowned.
What?
So he took it very personally. He thought, like, man, I could have saved her. So he's grief-stricken by that. He goes back to school, finishes medical school record time, and then he comes back, and his mom died near the end of his residency. So then he's really upset with that. He grew very distant from his work.
Okay, so his sister and his mom has died at this point.
Yes. But he has like a knack for surgery.
Okay.
So even though he grew distant from his work, he still had he was really talented at what he was doing, and he became very wealthy. He was a celebrated neurosurgeon by the time he turned 30. Very egotistical, very Tony Stark-esque.
Nice.
To where he only cares about money and doesn't have a lot of compassion.
Okay.
He's just trying to make as much money as possible. Doesn't care about whatever's happening.
Is that as a result of the death in his family?
Yeah, kind of like that. He becomes very cold and callous. He's really interested in like making money, high fees on his work and stuff like that. He eventually saved a United States translator. And there was a romance and proposal, but she left him based on his materialistic nature. So she's like, listen, we dated and I love you, but I can see that you're very shallow. And even though we're engaged, this isn't going to happen. So his egotism and his materialism is affecting him again.
Is he a very arrogant person?
I mean, you could assume so.
Okay. I don't know anything about him, so.
Right. Just think
Just
very
guessing.
similar to Tony Stark. You say they didn't have the same facial hair.
Do they have like the same type of humor too?
I don't know. That I can't help.
Okay.
But just someone that's very good at their field,
Mm-hmm.
that's very arrogant and is only interested in making money. Cold and callous. And then after that, 2 years after his mom's death, her husband, Strange's dad, fell ill, just based on like being alone and stuff like that. You know how sometimes when one person goes in a couple, the other person goes not long afterwards. Stephen, so grief-stricken by his mother and his sister's death, didn't want to experience that again. Never went to his father's deathbed. So he kind of like cold and distant. And
There's a lot of death in this.
There is. And then after his father died, Victor, his younger brother, confronted Stephen Strange at his apartment.
Okay.
He's like, listen, what the heck is wrong with you? They got in a fight. Victor ran out and got hit by a car and died.
Oh my gosh, why is everyone dying?
Because it's kind of Strange's fault. I mean, not really. Like, some of these things can't be helped. But Victor could almost be directly related to Strange because they had an argument because he didn't go to his father's deathbed. Something like that. After that, Strange gets in a car accident, breaks both of his hands, can no longer be a neurosurgeon.
This is like the most traumatic story. Everyone dies.
Yeah.
So you guys get a cramp while they're swimming.
Yeah,
come on.
That happens.
I know, but
don't swim unless there's 30 seconds.
At least an hour.
Yeah, an hour.
At least an hour.
But listen, so he breaks his hands, can't use them anymore. So obviously his neurosurgeon career is like out the window.
Yeah.
Although that's essentially all he knows how to do. So he does a lot of back alley stuff.
So he starts to get sketchy.
Yeah. So he barely.
Is he an anti-hero or is he a hero?
He's a hero.
Okay.
So he barely makes. Can I tell a story before you jump to conclusions?
I'm just trying to get in on the conversation here.
So he's doing all this back alley stuff, really running out of all his money.
Okay.
He's looking for all these cures for his hand. He hears about the Ancient One somehow. He goes up to him. He's like, "Listen, help me out. Help me out here." And the Ancient
Who's
One's
the
like,
Ancient One?
He's the Supreme Sorcerer.
Okay.
That we talked about before.
At the very beginning.
Guarding Earth from evil forces.
Gotcha.
So now it's gone from like real life to fictional type of thing. Like all this stuff that happened to him beforehand could be like real life stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's fictional. Goes and then he's rejected by the Ancient One. Strange is rejected by the Ancient One. Strange finds out about Mordu's plans to overthrow the Ancient One. Strange tells Ancient One. They team up. Even though Strange has been selfish his whole life, he finally stops being selfish for a little bit, gets trained by the Ancient One, and is now Doctor Strange, the superhero.
Nice.
That's his origin story. I assume there's going to be a fight between him and Mordu in the movie. It's very. They're not brothers, but you could kind of relate it to like Loki and Thor. Like they're both like equally powerful. In certain ways.
They can match up against each other.
So essentially, Doctor Strange was born in 1930. So this all kind of happened in that time period.
Okay.
Like he went to the Ancient One when he was like 30. So 1960s.
Okay.
However, I think they're going to make it a more modern day for the film. Just so he
Which
can...
makes sense.
Either they'll make it more modern day for the film so that he can be with the Avengers and the Civil War and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or he time travels
from the 30s or
from the 60s or whatever to fight in the Civil War and then travels back or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think, I have it written down, Civil War comes out before Doctor Strange.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know
So
necessarily how they do it. So Doctor Strange comes out November 4th, and Civil War comes out May 6th. So there's a good 6 months there.
Do you think he's going to be in the Civil War? Is that what you're saying?
I
mean, he's going to be probably in the Infinity Wars. From what I understand, the Infinity Wars is going to have everybody in it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be every single lovable Marvel character assembled against death.
The Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's in it.
He's supposed to be in Civil War.
I'm going to look at it. No, he isn't in Civil War. It's confirmed.
I remember that announcement coming out, which obviously they changed it from Andrew Garfield, who I loved as the Spider-Man.
I too.
I thought he did a great job. I'm really sad that he's not Spider-Man anymore.
Well, he had a fallout with the director.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. The director or the Sony or whatever. Let me see if Benedict Cumberbatch is listed. So far, no dice.
And this is for Civil War.
Yes, this is for Civil War. However, they could just be hiding it if it's supposed to be something. Like, Spider-Man they announced, and everyone freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
They could be hiding Benedict Cumberbatch
Mm-hmm.
from the IMDb listing. And it looks like he's not going to be in it based on this.
You don't think they'd put him in there, though, without having him introduce him to the canon?
Maybe. They've talked about Doctor Strange before in other movies. Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
They mentioned Doctor Strange. That's a very long time ago. I don't think those are canon anymore. I think they mentioned him before. I think maybe in Age of Ultron they might mention him. But Doctor Strange is not equivalent to Spider-Man to where they can just throw him in and people know who he is.
Right, because Spider-Man has had so many origin stories and has already been on the big screen so much.
And
you don't need to explain him anymore. People understand Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's also like the most popular superhero of all time.
Yep.
Like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man are all like the most popular superheroes of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess he won't be in Civil War.
If he is, that'd be sweet.
It'll be sweet, but a lot of people will be like, "What's it?"
I don't expect him to be.
I expect a mention. I expect probably at the end credits between Civil War,
maybe a scene that references him.
He might just be in a scene, Doctor Strange scene.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's kind of his origin story. I don't necessarily know where they're going to take that in the film. But when I read that, which is the first time today, I'm like, dang, this guy's had a rough life.
Yeah,
which is exciting.
That is just really traumatic. I don't know
how
I would deal with that. So that'll be an interesting story. So is the movie going to be his origin? Is it going to go through all that? Are we
I
going to see that?
so. I assume. I mean,
because people don't know his backstory, so they're going to have to explain who he is.
That could be like a 20-minute segment, though. Like just him growing up in Philly.
Yeah, I hope it is. I don't want the whole movie to be that tragic. And then at the end, he's like, "Oh, I got my powers at the very end." No, I want to see him be a superhero
for a little bit,
for the majority
of the
time.
That's what they do with all the Marvel movies. They have like the 20-minute segment in the very beginning, or in Iron Man's case, it's like an hour.
Right.
And then they have like a 20-minute montage of him just destroying people.
Right.
And then it finally climaxes in like the last 45 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange, I feel like they could get out all that death and everything within the first 20 minutes, half an hour. Just shows him growing up and shows him going through all these things.
Yeah.
A funeral scene with his mother would be plenty.
Yeah, I think so.
I kind of expecting like when him and Victor have a confrontation and Victor runs out into the street and dies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picturing similar to how Spider-Man is over Uncle Ben on the side of the street.
Yeah.
That type of thing. And then I assume
the drowning sister.
Steven gets, that happens a long time ago. Steven gets like distraught. And he might even go to alcoholism. And then that leads to a car accident.
Essentially Tony Stark.
Well, maybe.
That's how he deals with all his problems.
But that leads to a car accident, which he can no longer use his hands, and then he does all this back alley stuff. And then I don't know how they're going to do the Ancient One and powers like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be interesting.
It could be.
Anyway, I'm excited for it. I'm more excited for that than one of Marvel DC movies.
Are you more excited for that than for Batman v Superman?
Well, I already feel like I've already seen all of Batman vs. Superman based on the trailer.
We already got all the twists already, so.
I'm more excited for Doctor Strange than I am for X-Men Apocalypse or Gambit or Deadpool. Because
I think Deadpool's just going to be one of those movies that it's going to be really funny the first time you watch it, and then it's not going to be funny anymore.
Yeah.
I really, like, just based off of the previews I've seen so far, and everybody's, like, obsessed with Deadpool. I don't get it. I mean, I haven't read any of the Deadpool comics, but I don't know. It just seems like really bad humor that's not going to be funny.
The whole premise of Deadpool is that he breaks the fourth wall all the time.
Yeah.
Like in the comics, and that's where a lot of his humor comes from. So if you don't like that, maybe you won't like that.
We'll find out, because I'll probably see it, but I love going to the movies.
Of the movies coming out in 2016, I have a list here of the superhero movies.
Yeah.
Deadpool is in February. Batman vs. Superman is in March. Civil War is in May. X-Men Apocalypse is in May. Suicide Squad is in August.
That's going to be good.
Gambit's in October, and Doctor Strange is in November.
That's a lot of superhero movies.
It is a lot. Well, Spider-Man Suicide Squad was scheduled to be in November of 2016 again, but then Andrew Garfield and them split ways, so that's not happening. So we were going to get a Spider-Man film this year. I don't know when the Tom Holland Spider-Man is coming out, but I'll look it up right now. It'd be awesome if it was next year, but it might be 2017.
feel like they need enough time for that. I don't know. My brother is pretty tired of superhero movies, and I feel like there's some people getting like superhero fatigue, just because there's so many superhero movies out now. It's like its own thing, genre now. Like, there's so much of it.
2017 Spider-Man reboot.
2017.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that superhero fatigue?
I mean, I think it's awesome. If you don't want to see the movie, don't go see the movie. But all these superhero movies always break records every time they come out. So he might be tired of it personally, but they're definitely on the up and up still. Like, Batman v Superman is going to be huge. Civil War, I think, will be huge.
You think so?
I think it will be.
I mean, we can't say that every superhero movie that's come out has been breaking records. Can't say that. Because, like, was it Ant-Man? Didn't do amazing.
I mean, Ant-Man did pretty well for a superhero that not a lot of people know. I think Doctor Strange...
But isn't that that's what they're doing, though? They're transitioning into all these smaller superhero characters because all the big ones they've already done.
Doctor Strange, Gambit, Ant-Man, and Black Panther, I think will all be around the same how much money they make.
Yeah.
But they need to introduce all these for the Infinity Wars, which is probably going to be Marvel's biggest movie.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
That's what they're planning.
They're going to be putting in... I mean, I feel like it's the build-up to the Avengers, but on a whole nother level. Because, like, that first Avengers movie, that build-up, everybody was hyped up about it with, seeing the first Iron Man movie, seeing the first Thor movie, seeing all of those things. We were like, and Captain America, we were so ready. We were like, I remember for years, I was like, man, I can't not wait for them all to get together in the Avengers movie.
Right.
So that was a lot of build-up. So I hope it happens again with Infinity Wars, and I assume it will. It's just I don't know, I just find it hard to get on board with like all of the smaller characters that are in it, because to me, like, I didn't grow up reading all those comics. All I ever saw was like the cartoons on TV, like the Spider-Man cartoons and Iron Man cartoons, and like I saw Superman, Justice League, and all the main characters. So these side characters, I really don't care that much about them.
Yeah, I didn't really care. The Iron Man movie was awesome. I didn't watch the Thor movie for like a year or two after it came out.
Yeah.
Captain America, the first Avenger, was all right. It wasn't very good. The Hulk movies were
terrible.
Hated them beforehand. But then Avengers came out and everybody flipped their lids. So now they're making much better movies now. Ant-Man was better than any of the Hulk movies.
Agreed.
Ant-Man could be on par with a Thor the first movie. Just based on stuff like that. So the movies are getting better. I understand that your brother specifically might be getting tired with superheroes. But, like I said, you don't have to go see all of them. Like, now they're getting to all these other ones that, again, you don't have to see. Some that you would have to see, I would say, if you're a comic book fan, Batman vs. Superman.
Right.
Civil War.
Right. I mean, those are the big
X-Men Apocalypse, maybe.
Right.
But yeah, of the ones that I listed, I'm most excited for Civil War, Batman vs. Superman, I think Doctor Strange. Gambit is Channing Tatum.
I've heard.
Which I don't know what to think about that.
I don't have a huge, I don't know, respect for Channing Tatum because he's in so many romantic comedies, but...
What?
He's in a ton of romantic comedies. It's like his thing.
What?
That and like 22 Jump Street, which is fun.
Name 2 romantic comedies he's in.
Oh gosh, Dear John.
That was a long time ago. Those Nicholas Sparks?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's when I first was introduced to him, and that's what shaped my perception of him.
Were you jealous of his perfect body?
I mean, I just thought he wasn't that great of an actor.
I'm pretty sure he has 19 wins and 51 nominations.
Yeah.
For other things. So he's doing pretty well for himself.
Was that for Best Actor, or was that for just... I don't even know. I don't know anything about him. Let's be honest. But
Best Actor, Best Ensemble, Actor of the Year, Best Actor. So, yes.
Which, are those the Emmys? No. Okay. Those are like little independent ones. Everybody gets those.
Everybody gets those?
All the actors that hit AAA titles get awards from random small little events like that.
What? People's Choice Awards? That's a good one. Teen Choice Award?
I don't like teens.
I would understand if he was in like Twilight and you'd be like, this guy sucks.
I mean, honestly, the only movies I've seen him in have been rom-coms, and then...
He was in Coach Carter.
I haven't seen that.
He was in CSI Miami.
I don't watch CSI Miami.
He was
Step Up 2? Come on!
He is in Step Up. First of all, he can dance with the best of them. You can't say that he can't dance if you've seen Step Up.
I've not seen it, because it's the Step Up movies.
What does that mean? He was in Public Enemies with Johnny Depp.
I mean,
he was in a gangster movie,
but he wasn't like the
G.I. Joe.
Okay, the G.I. Joe movies suck.
What? I haven't seen them.
How can you defend them? You've not even seen them. The Vow,
21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, Magic Mike. Not a rom-com.
I don't even want to talk about that movie.
Magic
I've never
Mike?
seen it. All I've seen is the movie posters, and that was enough for me to say nope.
Yeah, but there's some good actors in it. Matthew McConaughey's in it.
But that doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Gabriel Iglesias is in it.
That doesn't mean it's a good movie.
I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm saying he's a good actor.
I don't know.
This is the End.
I haven't seen it.
It's not a rom-com. It's like a Seth Rogen film.
Right, it's funny.
James Franco. White House Down. Action.
I liked Olympus Has Fallen better.
The Lego Movie. Is that a rom-com?
No.
Listen, I'm defending my boy right now.
I can tell. I don't know why you're
22 Jump
so...
Street?
Jupiter Ascending. Get out.
I don't think that's a rom-com.
It's a romantic sci-fi movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was I thought it was like a teen movie.
It was like a teen romantic. If it has teen in it, it's always like partially romantic.
So?
I'm just saying. I don't know why you're so
adamant
saying? On defending
What are
him.
you saying? He's in the Hateful
I'm
Eight?
saying that I don't...
Which we almost saw today?
We almost saw that today. I'm just saying that I don't have a high opinion of Channing Tatum. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like...
I've never seen him in a movie that's blown me away.
It sounds like you've never seen him in any movie. Because I went through this whole list. You're like, haven't seen it.
Okay, I've seen Rise of Cobra, seen Public Enemies.
Okay, but Rise of Cobra, you just said it was not a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's not his fault.
He's part of the movie.
But it's a big budget movie.
Okay. You're always part of the movie. It's always partially your responsibility.
Did you like 21 Jump Street?
I did like.
Did you like 22 Jump Street?
I have not seen it.
Okay. 22 Jump Street. Essentially 21 Jump Street.
Let's see what else.
I thought it was funny though.
G.I. Joe Retaliation. I saw that.
White House Down was not a good movie.
It was not a good movie. I like Olympus Has Fallen better. Lego movie I've seen, but he's just Superman's voice. He's barely in it.
Is Superman not in that movie very much?
I mean, he's like product placement.
Batman's in it a lot. That's Will on it.
What else have I seen?
23 Jump Street, I guess, is coming out.
I don't know. I don't see any movies on there, and I'm like, wow, that was such a great movie. Maybe Foxcatcher, but I haven't seen Foxcatcher.
I watched Foxcatcher. We can talk about it if you want.
I haven't seen it, so
awful.
I can't. I don't know.
But he was fantastic in it.
Was he?
Foxcatcher was the worst movie I've seen all year.
Mm-hmm.
He was fantastic in it.
What type of character did he play?
Okay, so that's all my notes and things to talk about. So, great transition, Justin. Props.
Was it?
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh.
So, Foxcatcher, I didn't know what Foxcatcher was about. I had heard that it was a very good movie. Mm-hmm. I had heard that it had won a lot of awards. Mm-hmm. In it is Channing Tatum, Steve Carell, and Mark Ruffalo. Okay. So, 3 really good actors. Mm-hmm. Foxcatcher is about in the 1988 Olympics in Seoul. Mm-hmm. What is his name? There's 2 wrestlers. Let me see if I can find his name. Mark Schultz and David Schultz. They're brothers. Okay. In the Olympics before that, they had both won gold in wrestling in their weight class. Mm-hmm. So this is they're preparing for the 1988 Olympics. Steve Carell's character.
He's the coach.
He's
right.
He's the sponsor.
Okay.
He sponsors Mark Schultz, who is Channing Tatum. Dave Schultz is Mark Ruffalo. He sponsors them, gives them money, lets them train on his property. He's essentially trying to get them a win because wrestling is his favorite sport. Mm-hmm. Steve Carell's character comes from the richest family in the United States, the DuPont family. Okay. So it's super slow. The movie is super slow. The acting is phenomenal. You watch Steve Carell, this is not a funny movie, this is a drama. And he is like menacing. He is scary. He's very standoffish. The Red Box, we got it from Red Box. Mm-hmm. The Red Box description of the film was like the tale of a Olympic wrestler and his sponsor and how everything happens and then eventually leads to murder. I'm like, oh, cool. Murder's going to happen. This movie's going to be awesome.
That defines a good movie for Tony.
Spoiler alert. Well, I thought the murder was going to happen, and then like there's going to be fallout for the rest of the movie, and like this is going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert: the murder doesn't happen until like the last 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
So it's awful. So really, it's just them acting and going through the motions and doing all this stuff. Their acting was phenomenal. Steve Carell won like Best Actor that year, I think.
Right. I've heard he had an amazing performance.
He had an amazing performance. Channing Tatum did fantastic.
What type of character was he? He was a wrestler.
He was a wrestler.
Okay.
But he's kind of like a dumb wrestler, but he went to Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a college degree. He graduated. So he's not super dumb. But his acting, like he was like hunched over the whole time, and he had like this huge like jaw the whole time that he had to jut out every time he acted. Mark Ruffalo was his brother, who was really his trainer. Fantastic. The movie was super slow. Me and Emily watched it. It was like 2 hours and 14 minutes long.
Yeah.
We watched it.
Just bad pace.
She was in the mood for an action movie. I saw this. I thought, oh, there's a murder in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the murder's going to happen earlier on in the movie.
Right.
Stuff was going to happen. Turns out the murder didn't happen until late on in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So she like got on her phone halfway through the movie because she was so bored.
Wow.
I knew a murder was happening, so I was like zoned in the whole movie.
You're like waiting for it.
Yeah, and then it barely happened at the end. I'm like, this sucks. So we agreed that movie was bad. But the acting is phenomenal. If you want to see good actors in a drama, listen. The movie itself, if you go in with the right expectations, can be really good. If you're looking for fantastic performances by Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, Mark Ruffalo, and you're looking for a drama, watch Foxcatcher. If you're looking for an action movie where you think there's going to be murder and twists and detective work,
don't pick this movie.
Don't pick this movie, which is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So our experience, because of our mindset, was very bad. But Foxcatcher, the acting is phenomenal.
It just seems to me that Channing Tatum is a very niche actor. Like, if I'm looking for the list that you have up on your computer, I don't see one where he's not like the character that he looks like. You know, like there are some actors, like I think of Leonardo DiCaprio, who can play a lot of different types of characters, and I consider them like Tom Hanks, like great actors.
What kind of characters does Leonardo DiCaprio play? Suave?
He's played suave. He's played crazy bad guy. He's played.
When did he play the crazy bad guy?
It's
Django Unchained.
Django Unchained.
But he was suave in that. He
suave.
always has like this con artist, like suave kind of personality. Catch Me If You Can. Django Unchained. He always is a fast talker. He's always very confident, very suave.
You say that about Inception?
Yes.
It's not even about suaveness.
But he is. That's his personality. I feel like you're just mad at Channing Tatum because he's this big old ripped buff dude.
And he plays big old ripped buff dude people.
You can't hide muscles.
And Leonardo DiCaprio plays way more characters than just I just can't think of them all off the top of my head.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
The Revenant. Have you seen just a preview of that movie? That's so totally different than any other character he's played so far.
One movie. Leo DiCaprio has been in it since Titanic. Channing Tatum's been in it for like 5 years.
I have no respect for him now even more because you're so adamantly defending him. So now I hate him more.
You always do that.
Yeah, it's because you get so intense about it. I'm just trying to say I don't like the guy.
I'm trying to defend my boy here.
You don't even know this guy.
Dude, I know him.
You don't know him at all.
We're on the Chan Man. That's what I call him.
The Chan Man?
When we have dinner, I call him the Chan Man.
Well, I'm not coming over for dinner when you have the Chan Man over.
I mean,
which will never happen.
Good. You're not invited.
Good. I don't want to be invited.
He's going to tell me about all of his future
probably
goals.
Eats all your food.
Probably. Gladly, I'll let the Chan Man eat all my food.
Gross. So, in other news, Fallout 4, a player by the name of Kyle Hinckley, he beat the entire game without directly killing anyone. The game developers themselves thought it was not possible. And apparently it glitched the game a bunch. But he was able to do it. Which, if you've played the game, the main story, you know that there are plenty of missions where your objective is to kill someone. And so the way he defined it was if he was actually personally responsible for their death. So what he did for some of those is he used the environment to kill the person. And so it didn't count as a kill for him. And,
so like if they fall off a cliff?
Yeah. Or get like blown up by a frag mine that he did not place or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently it took him forever, especially some of the storyline missions. But He, I believe, has a video about it on his YouTube channel called The Weirdest. And if you want to check that out, that'd be cool. I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4 recently. Been addicted. Tony actually had to pull me away from it today. Come record. Playing it this morning.
You just got it, like, a couple days ago.
I've been playing it like crazy. I also have been playing Chrono Trigger. It's a, what would you say, RPG from the 2D era. And it's a lot of fun.
How are you playing it?
Playing it on my Android.
Yeah, you are.
Which I didn't know that it was on there. When I did, it was like $5. I was like, man, I was saving up this Google survey money. I was saving up money to get like a Final Fantasy game, like Final Fantasy like 6.
Nah, you don't want that.
But they were like $8, $8 to $15, depending on which Final Fantasy it is. And I was like, man, that's so much money. And then I had like $5.50, and I was like, man, what do I want? I saw Chrono Trigger. I was like, boom, got it. Because I played Chrono Cross, which is
Chrono Trigger is $4.99. Look at that.
There it is. It's so good. So far I've had
the Square Enix game.
It is.
It's a really
It
cool
was
game.
SquareSoft at the time.
Yes.
Which I have a higher opinion of SquareSoft than I do of Square Enix.
Then you do have Channing Tatum.
What are you talking about? Get out of here. Get Channing Tatum out of here. That conversation's over.
It's never over. Chrono Trigger is like, if you ask people what the best RPG is of all time, Chrono Trigger is always in their top 5 list.
The story is just really engaging, and it utilizes the mechanic where what you do, like in terms of like side little quests and side things, influence the main storyline. It was I did not expect it on this game. I was like, I just found like this girl had lost her little kitten, and I was like running around the town. I found it. And I just brought it back to her. So that'd be nice. And then it came up with like 25, 30 minutes later in the game, and this like really important main storyline thing.
That had nothing to do with the girl.
It had nothing to do with the girl, and she was there, and it like what I did affected that main story. I was like, holy cow.
That's intense.
That's crazy. That's like, I wonder if they're the first ones to do it, and that's why people love it so much. I don't know.
Maybe.
But story's cool because it's like time travel, and it's all like affecting each other. So I'm actually really excited about it. As we were getting ready for the podcast today, I was playing it a little bit.
You were playing it. It came out in 1995.
There it is.
There is a version on the DS. I mean, you can get it, the old version on the Super Nintendo, but there's a version on the DS and obviously on your Android.
So if you got $5,
or iOS,
I think it's worth a download.
Super Nintendo, PlayStation, Nintendo DS, iOS, and Android is what it's on right now. So that's fun.
Yeah, it's a good game. So far, I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying Fallout 4 more. Been putting a lot more hours into Fallout 4.
See, you got Fallout 4 much later after I did. I got Fallout 4 like the day it came out.
I got it for $50. It was on sale.
I got mine for cheaper than that because I had a discount.
Oh. You beat me.
It's not a competition.
Which you've had, I think we have, so far we've had a different experience with the game. Right? I mean, it sounds like from our conversations before that Fallout 4, like you played a little bit and then kind of stopped playing it because it was kind of boring.
About the Black Ops came out the week beforehand, so I was super set on Black Ops 3. I just am now trying to get a break from Black Ops 3 because I've done everything that I care about in that game. I've gotten Dark Matter camo, which is diamond on every gun. I've gotten all the hero armor gold, which are the 2 hardest challenges. I'm not at Master Prestige yet, but I really won't do that until there's a double XP weekend. Mm-hmm. Like, I won't care about that. That's another goal for me is like to raise my KD because it lowered because of all these challenges. But I was playing it the other day and I was like, I'm not into this anymore. Like, I need to take a break. So
Tony never wants to take a break from Call of Duty.
That's not true.
That's crazy. No, I just think it's like out of the norm because usually when we're playing, like you're like one more game.
Oh yeah.
When I'm trying to go to bed or something.
Yeah, I don't let you go to bed. Not anymore.
So
I've been taking a break from that.
So you think you're gonna pick up Fallout 4? Maybe start playing that.
It's there. It's somewhere in this room. You gotta find it.
It's great. It's great. I love it.
I know you do.
It's so much fun.
I stopped playing as soon as I finished the quest to rebuild Sanctuary. That's where I took a break.
Okay.
Which I assume was a very long time ago for you.
I've done quite a few things since then.
How often do you use your power armor?
I don't really at all.
That's what I hear a lot of people. You get the garage in Sanctuary, you put it up there,
and then I painted it.
Did you get the hot rod?
No, red? I did the Minutemen.
Oh, I got the hot rod red, and I'm like, this looks so sick because it has flames on it.
I was texting one of my friends who got it when it first came out and like binge played it to death. And I texted him. I was like, dude, how much do you actually use your power armor? And he's like, maybe 5% of the missions.
Yeah, that's because you have to get the power cells for it.
I know, and I don't want to.
And you're like, I don't want to use these power cells because I need them later. It's the same as like Phoenix Downs and like potions.
Yeah, I know. It's like you wait and you never use them, and so they just sit and they don't actually help you at all. So that's kind of how I feel with the power armor. You
can't like have the power armor like come to you. Like, don't you have to go back to the sanctuary?
You have to go back and then like auto travel, and then it eats up your core. So I like the idea of having power armor. And in Fallout 3, you could have power armor, and it didn't take the fusion batteries. It was
just armor.
It was just armor you wore, and it just like was really heavy and like hurt your sneaking ability, and like had penalties because it's so good. But my favorite armor in the game was the winterized
from
power armor because
the Alaska offensive.
From that DLC because you didn't have to repair it, which that's a nice feature in this game.
You don't have to repair anything.
You don't have to repair anything.
I don't like. Like, the very first game, you get the same pistol over and over again. You're like, I need to pick these up so I can repair it.
Right.
And then
you don't.
You don't. There's nothing.
Don't. Right. So I usually just throw them in the workbench and it scraps them. At first I was kind of wary about the settlement building in the game. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to actually like that.
What?
But
how long ago was that? Because we talked about this like months ago, and you're super excited. Dude. Like, I'm going to spend so much time on this settlement building. I'm going to do this, and this, and this, and this.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it changed, but I remember when I bought the game and they first introduced me to it, I was like, I don't know if I like this. Because it was difficult. Like, they don't explain a lot of the functions in the settlement building, and so I ended up just Googling a lot of the stuff to figure out, because I couldn't figure out, like, how to keep track of who was doing what jobs, and just like all that stuff, and figuring out the supply lines, and...
The difference between my building and your building is I watched you stream. I watched that part of you when you were doing that.
Yeah.
You built an extra house and put all the beds in it, which is the first quest you have to do.
Yeah.
I just went to a house and filled up the beds.
Right. I just want to play with it.
There's a cellar in Sanctuary. Have you found it?
There's a cellar?
A cellar. That has a whole bunch of stuff in it.
I did not.
You should go find it. If cellar is the cul-de-sac, and it's like... if the cul-de-sac of Sanctuary is a balloon...
Okay.
The cellar, I think, is like between the 12 o'clock and the 10 o'clock on the clock. So there's a cellar. It's on the very back of a house, around the end, right on the edge of Sanctuary, where you can build things.
Yeah.
I think you might need a lockpick,
or is it?
I mean, stuff you can use and like stim packs and stuff.
Oh, sweet.
So you should go find it, because I found that randomly.
I will have to find it. I will say, my first building that I built was not very good. It doesn't look very good. It's very messy. But I started building at some of the other locations, and I started doing it completely from scratch. So building the floors and the walls and everything, like snapping it into place.
Because you can destroy all houses and stuff.
You can't do some of the houses. You can't destroy some of the houses.
But you can destroy some houses and get a foundation and put stuff on it.
Right. But a little bit later, I built like a tower at this smaller like building area to house my people in. I got attacked for the first time by a bunch of super mutants. That was scary because they had one of those
X-Men? Super mutants?
Yeah, actually.
Was it Apocalypse?
No, Cyclops came and started lasering me with his eyeballs.
Shouldn't have took his sunglasses.
They have those suicide super mutants that have mini nukes that go off. They just like charge at you and blow up.
See, I picture
it like kills you.
The orc from Two Towers.
It's just like him.
Just like him.
Legolas, bring it down! And he shoots all those ones, and he's like, "Brrr!"
And you're like, Legolas, what the heck? Like, you've been accurate 100% of the time. What's going on?
No. Why can't you kill this guy? So, I really am enjoying the settlement building part of it. At first I thought it was a little tedious, but once you figure it out, it can be a lot of fun. I found that I die a lot in the game.
Scrub.
And
Christmas noob.
Well, no, the thing is, I just keep challenging myself, Tony. I go further south than you probably have.
Christmas noob.
Because I didn't die in the beginning. Because the way it works is like the further south you go, the harder the bad guys are.
Is that because you're closer to Washington D.C., where the Fallout 3 was?
I guess maybe
it's my fan theory.
I don't know. But the death claws. I died in my first encounter with the Yaogwai, but I didn't die in my first encounter with the death claw.
Because your first encounter with the death claw is right after you get the power armor.
No.
Are you talking about the second?
I meant like the one that wasn't staged.
Okay.
I was just like walking outside of Diamond City, and there was this random Deathclaw. I was like, "What the cuss?" And I think my dad was actually watching at the time, and he saw me get killed by the Yaoguai. He's like, "What was that?" I was like, "It's kind of basically a mutated bear." He's like, "Okay." And then I was like, "At least it wasn't a Deathclaw." And he's like, "Oh, what's that?" I was like, "You don't want to know." And then I respawned and started going to the same area again, and there was a Deathclaw.
Oh, yeah, that's a Deathclaw.
And then it chased me, and I chased it back in, or I let it chase me back into town, and Diamond City security and all its auto turrets helped me take him down because I was like, I didn't have enough ammo to take it down with any of my good guns because I'm running out of ammo.
Really? I heard that it's hard to run out of ammo.
Well, I mean,
using energy weapons.
I was using energy weapons because I got from the Brotherhood of Steel dude. I got like this sweet laser rifle. It has like all these awesome stats on it.
Oh yeah.
And so I kept using it, but it's not like naturally occurring that you find a bunch of these like battery stuff. It's usually in the main story quests.
The way I play Fallout is you have all these weapons, and I have all the weapons that have the best stats.
Yeah.
Never use them.
Really?
Not because I'm like, I want to challenge myself, but it's because I want to save those for boss fights.
Right.
And hard fights.
Yeah.
So I always use the worst weapons.
I know, that's what I do too. I run around, my standard is like one of those pipe rifles.
Like the pipe pistol or whatever.
Because I have so much ammo.
Yeah, you got to use all your ammo that you have.
Right. So I end up, like, I have like 40 shots left with my laser rifle, and that's it.
Make
and
it count.
done. So I'm a little bit worried I'm going to run out of ammo. So my last level, I picked the perk that lets you find more ammo.
Have you been watching a lot on Netflix recently?
I haven't. I really haven't.
In my break from Black Ops 3, I'm watching this show on Netflix original series called Making a Murderer. Mm-hmm. Have you heard about it?
I've heard about it. There's some controversy around it.
Yeah? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yes. Do you want to know about it? I've watched almost all of it. So Making a Murderer, the premise is there's this guy named Stephen Avery, back in 1988, I believe. He was charged and sentenced to prison for an attempted rape and attempted assault on this woman. After 18 years in prison, they have DNA evidence that he was not guilty. Yeah. So he spent 18 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Yeah. That he pled innocent to. Right. Gets out of prison. Is going to sue the sheriff in the county that put him in prison because essentially earlier before he got arrested for that, there was this time where like the sheriff's wife and him had an argument. So the sheriff's wife told the sheriff was in after him, sent him to prison for 18 years for something he didn't do. He got out of prison, is like, listen, you only did this because I got in a fight with your wife. Sues the county, is about to get like $4 million from the court case. Yeah. As soon as that court case is happening, there's a body found on Stephen Avery's property, and he's framed for murder. And
the same guy again?
Yeah, same guy.
Oh my god! So
Making a Murderer, the majority of the episodes is essentially the court trial between Stephen Avery and his two lawyers versus the state's prosecution. Yeah. The state prosecutor I saw on Reddit has gotten death threats based on this documentary. Yeah.
That's what I read online. I saw it on like a major news network. Yeah. I was like, holy cow.
It's insane. If you like kind of mystery kind of court trial cases, things like that, highly suggest Making a Murder. The episodes, there's only 10 episodes. Every episode is like an hour long-ish. So be prepared for that. But I highly recommend this. It's a Netflix original series. Yeah. And it's delicious.
Murder is delicious.
Murder is delicious. You should watch that. I'm going to add that to the list of things that you need to watch. Okay. Which is most
for my
things.
homework.
Which is
pretty much everything. Sweet. Do you want to talk about the games coming out this year?
Yeah, let's go through the games. Game releases of 2016 that I think are notable. That's essentially what I did. And you put down games that you think are awesome.
That I'm excited for. Yeah. I can't tell if they're awesome. I hope they're awesome. Because I've got some hype for it. So and some of the ones that you have on your list, I'm hyped for too.
Well, I wrote down the ones that I recognize and the ones that I know people will recognize. Yeah, the ones I have
the more mainstream ones.
Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster. I've never played Resident Evil, but you have.
I have. You played 4, 5, and 6.
So where does 0 fall in between that?
I'm assuming 0 is a reference to like the origin stories.
Oh yeah.
So it's probably a remaster of like the first couple Resident Evil games, is my guess, but not sure. But who knows? Maybe
Fire Emblem Fates is coming out.
I've heard that's a dating sim.
June 25th.
Have you read anything about this?
Oh, do you play Fire Emblem? You have Fire Emblem Awakening.
I do.
Fire Emblem Awakening, you can, once your support level goes up to somebody, you marry that person, you have a kid,
right?
And then you can use that kid in battle.
Yeah.
Once they grow up, old enough to fight.
Mm-hmm.
In Fire Emblem Fates, they have increased that, so now you have a higher marriage potential with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the dating sim comes from.
Yeah.
But Fire Emblem Fates, I think, is the first game of the Fire Emblem series that's using two different copies, very much like Pokemon, like Red and Blue,
and the two different factions.
Yeah,
right?
There's two different factions, and it's decision based. I think there's more decisions on this than previous Fire Emblem games. Fire Emblem is one of my favorite titles of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for this. I thought it was going to come out last year. I thought it was going to come out in 2015, and June 25th is the day before my wedding. So I told Emily, like, listen, I know we're getting married, but I'm getting Fire Emblem. To her bereavement, to her, I don't know, to her joy, it didn't come out until 2016.
Yes.
So that happened.
She'll get more attention, I think.
Yeah.
Now than she will later.
Yes.
Next, Far Cry Primal is on the list.
Dumb. Tell me your thoughts, because you have a positive look on your face.
Look, I don't know. I feel that Far Cry, from what I understand, 3 and 4, right, the new one and the one on PS3. Essentially, you've told me, because I haven't played 3, they're the same game.
Yes.
They're essentially the same. So I think this is a new look at Far Cry. And I think this is... Primal looks like it's I mean, I've never seen a game like it besides, like, I don't know, like Ark or like Rust.
Turok.
Yeah, like Turok. Like, there are not many games that have big names that really are taking this approach to it. So I think
it's essentially like a 2000 BC
Far Cry game.
First person thing.
So, I mean, I think it's either going to be awesome and they're going to kill it and people are going to be like, wow, this is so good. Or it's going to be one of those games where nobody buys.
I think the latter. Far Cry 3, which was a really good game. I really like Far Cry 3. I also like Far Cry 2. Far Cry 4 I didn't really care for. Far Cry 3, IGN described as like Skyrim with guns. That got a lot of people into it. They took all the guns out for Far Cry Primal. Like, there's bows and arrows and stuff. And the bow and arrow is the most fun part of any Far Cry game.
Yeah.
It's hard to debate against that. But Primal, you're essentially just going through, like, the trailer was, like, hunting mammoths and hunting, like, saber-toothed cats and stuff. And then you can use, like, a spear, and you're in a group of, you're like a hunter-gatherer society.
Right.
You have spears and bows and arrows and stuff like that. I'm like, this looks awful. This doesn't look like fun at all. Because hunting has always been a big part of Far Cry, but not that big.
Right.
Like, you have to hunt in Far Cry because you get skins of animals, which then increase your armor and your wallet size and all this stuff. As soon as you're done with that, you no longer have to
I'm sure that's not the only part of the game.
I mean, that's all they've shown.
I mean, it's a game trailer. They don't show everything in the first trailer.
They have to show enough to get people excited, and that's the worst part of it.
What, hunting is the worst part of it?
Yes. Okay. And then there's no gunplay. There's no, like, a lot of people play Far Cry Stealth, and I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah. And you use the bow and arrow, and you use your axe, or you use your machete and stuff. But a lot of people also go in guns blazing and use RPGs and C4, and they put C4 on a Jeep and run into the camp and blow it up. None of that is going to be in this game.
That's true.
Based on the time period.
Well, it sounds like you want Far Cry 3 again.
No, because I got Far Cry 3 again and Far Cry 4. I don't want another Far Cry game.
Okay. So you just don't want any at all?
I might want Far Cry 2 again, because that was so different from Far Cry 3.
Okay. I don't know. I think I'm going to withhold judgment until it comes out. We start seeing some review and some gameplay. I mean, I think they're trying to take a new approach that hasn't been done before. And I think it's a risk. And it might pay off. And it may not. I feel like you already have a judgment on it, and you're not going to buy it, and you're just going to sit there and be angry about it. But
I'm not angry about it. I just think it's dumb.
Okay.
The Division is coming out. Tom Clancy's The Division.
Yep.
They made a new engine for this. This looks good.
It does. I mean, I used to play Tom Clancy games a long time ago. Then I got tired of them because they're all basically the same.
I think this one's different. This one's open world, I think.
Oh, that is different. The old ones I used to play were all mission based.
Yeah. I believe The Division is open world, so that'll be fun. Dark Souls 3.
Dun dun dun.
You're all about.
Actually, I haven't played any of the Dark Souls. I played Demon Souls.
Oh, I don't know the difference.
1 and 2. They're essentially the same.
Oh.
Made by the same people. And then played Bloodborne a lot. But I haven't played Dark Souls. But
they're similar.
But they're similar in the style and the genre. We'll see. I may pick it up. I may not. I have Fallout 4 now. I have like a lot of other games. I don't really need a game like that. If I'm in the mood for a challenge, I'll play it. But I'm not always in the mood for a challenge. Sometimes I just want to build a settlement.
I just found out that Ratchet and Clank are coming out with a new game, which is essentially game 1 of Ratchet and Clank.
A reboot?
They're essentially rebooting it, which was my theory based on the movie.
Yeah.
Because the movie looks like a reboot of the whole series,
mm-hmm.
and I predicted that they're going to come out with the same game that ties in with the movie, which is a reboot of the whole series.
Yeah.
There's already like 10 Ratchet and Clank games out.
Which I haven't played any of them.
So I'm not surprised that
I know
they're
you like it.
I do like them. They're a lot of fun. They're a platformer.
How do you feel about a reboot? Are you excited for a reboot?
There's a Ratchet and Clank collection for the PS3, which is an HD remaster of all the games for PS2, which I have. And I played it, and I thought it was really fun. The Ratchet and Clank games are really fun. They're rebooting it just to make more money, which is fine. Because I like Ratchet and Clank. I like Insomniac games. They make good stuff. So,
yeah.
I'll put this on here for you. Star Fox Zero.
Yay!
For the Wii U.
Star Fox. I don't have a Wii U, but if I did, I'd buy that game.
Now you might have to get one.
I might. It's starting to stack against me. I got an Amiibo now, and nothing to use it on. I got a Fox Amiibo.
Oh, Star Fox, that's right.
And
I got my 2 Amiibos.
Smash is out. What else is out? There's
Splatoon Genesis.
Looks really good.
You gonna buy a Wii U and then practice for Genesis next 2 weeks?
Yep, I'll train up.
There you go.
Be ready to play. Uncharted 4.
It's coming out after a delay. It's coming out in April.
That'll be exciting.
It is exciting. Do you plan on playing it 1 through 3 before it comes out?
I do plan on. I'm probably not gonna buy Uncharted 4 right when it comes out. I'm probably gonna wait for an Uncharted collection to drop in price, and then I'll buy that. And then by the time I'm done with that collection, Uncharted 4 will drop in price, and I'll buy that. Probably how I'm gonna approach it.
There you go.
Battleborn. We watched a trailer for.
Watched a trailer for it. What do you think? Because I was not impressed.
It looks
like
it's from the same makers as
Gearbox. It's from Gearbox.
It's from Gearbox, so they made the
Borderlands
series. It looks similar to that. Art style is a little bit different. I think it'd be fun if I had a bunch of friends playing it with me.
There's a lot of happening. It's a first-person shooter type thing, but it showed a lot of close combat.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of close combat, and just you kind of pick your archetype. Like you pick a character, and that character has a very specific play style.
Yeah.
And you just, like, get with the party and you either do multiplayer against each other or there's, like, PvE modes that look like. So, I don't know. I'm not really that excited for it. It looked... I mean, if I got it for, like, PlayStation Plus or something, I'd probably pop it in and play it a bit.
If I got it for free. That's one of those games, like, if I got it for free, I'd play it. If we were going to do that, so far, I'm going to buy Fire Emblem. If I got Far Cry Primal for free, I'd play it. I might buy The Division. If I got it for free, I'll definitely play it.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, if I got it for free, I might go through it again.
Mm-hmm.
And Uncharted 4, I'm definitely going to buy. Battleborn, if I got it for free, I'll play it again.
Yeah. I think Resident Evil, I would buy if it was, like, in one of those gaming lulls where I don't have a lot of new games, and it's like $20 or like $30.
So
I'm like,
June?
oh, yeah. Yeah, so like June.
So in June.
So I might buy that. Then Fire Emblem, I don't know if I'll get. I really don't use my 3DS very much. Far Cry Primal, I'll wait for reviews and be like a smart shopper about it. I might buy Dark Souls 3. Star Fox, I'll have to get a Wii U. Uncharted 4, I'll get eventually. Battleborn, I probably won't get. I mean, any game that's free, I'll probably give it a shot. That's usually how I do it. But
Mirror's Edge is coming out with a sequel. Did you play the first one?
I did not, but I thought it looked really cool.
I played the first one at my friend's house. I went over there a couple of weeks and completed the storyline. Super fun. All the free running and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Assassin's Creed has free running and stuff, but Mirror's Edge takes it to a completely different level.
Yeah, I've heard it's like parkour craziness.
Yeah. So you can run and jump and slide and all these other things. You can use guns and stuff. So the Mirror's Edge sequel, I think, will do very well.
Mm-hmm.
A game that everyone is excited for, except for me. No Man's Sky.
Big surprise! Tony's on opposite ends of this one with me. No Man's Sky is exciting. I'm so excited for this. Essentially, it's an exploration game where you have a spaceship, a starship, which you can get plenty of different types, and there's like trading and stuff involved. But essentially, it creates this huge, I think it's like 19 quintillion, like some ridiculous number, amount of like unique planets with resources and intelligent life that you explore, and you map the stars, and you can trade that with your friends who play online with. And essentially,
and you name planets and you name solar systems.
You explore, you find resources, you upgrade your ship, you trade, you interact with these different factions. So it's like, yeah. Did you not read the description to the game?
Where is this description at? Because I've heard interviews of the guy that created it. The interviews, he said you can play the whole game for like 200 plus hours and never see another player.
Yeah, I mean, it's not specifically like multiplayer, but you can have, there are factions in the game that you interact with that are NPCs. Like there's this group that if you take too many resources, or you like kill too many of the intelligent life on a planet, they'll intervene and they'll like attack you and try and stop you from doing all that stuff.
The way No Man's Sky was first described, I like their first E3 trailer or whatever. They talked about how it's a game where you can do anything, you can build anything. You can build settlements, you can do whatever you want. And on these planets, you can build different kinds of games. So, like an adventure game, a first-person shooter game, all these other things. Because you have the freedom to do that. And I hear that, and I see that, and I'm like, that's not going to go well. Like, there's no way you can have all those different game types inside of a game. Like, Minecraft can kind of do that, and look at Minecraft. Like, Minecraft's super huge, but it's a super community-driven game. Whereas in No Man's Sky, they say you can play forever and never see somebody else.
I mean, you can play Minecraft and never see anybody else too. You have your own world. You don't have to be in part of the community. It doesn't force you to.
No, but every description I've seen in this game is go out, discover all these new worlds, and do all this. Yeah. I've never seen anything that's like play with other people. I've always seen play by yourself.
But for comparing it to Minecraft, I never saw that in Minecraft.
What do you mean never saw that? There's giant servers on Minecraft.
There are servers, right, but there's no big, like, you go to the menu and it's like, pick this one, or, like, see the commercials, like, play with your friends. Like, I never saw that. I saw, like, build your stuff and showed you really cool things, and you can see pictures of what people have done, and, like, that's cool. But, I read the description today off Wikipedia, so I'm pretty sure I've got the freshest information.
The most reliable source on the internet.
We all know that. We all use it. So I'm excited for it. I don't know what it is, but
everyone I talk
exploration. Used to play EVE Online all the time, which just sounds a lot like an aspect of EVE Online that I tried a little bit, and some people really take advantage of that I didn't, which was like planetary exploration. And you could like find resources on planets, and it would like auto mine it. You could like it was a very small part, but you could essentially gain resources through planet exploration and sending probes and things.
The coolest part about No Man's Sky is if you, like, pretend it's nighttime and you look up at the sky and you see stars. You can get in your spaceship in the game, go to that star, you land on your spaceship, get out, explore that star, you see another star, get back in your spaceship, and fly directly to that. Unlimited exploration is the coolest part of this game.
Yeah.
But that's going to get, in my opinion, that's going to get super boring after I explore, like, 3 different stars. And it might all be very different, because it's all randomly generated.
Okay.
But how much stuff can they randomly generate that's still entertaining? Like, there has to be some basis for something to make it entertaining. Not just, this is random.
I don't know. I feel like exploration for the sake of exploration is fun. But we're definitely different gamers.
Yeah, but even with that, like, you're going to eventually start seeing the exact same things over and over again.
Well, I'm hoping you won't. I mean, it sounds like it's supposed to be, like, everything's supposed to be unique. If it is the same thing over and over again, it'll be super boring.
See?
But that doesn't mean that's what it's going to be.
I don't know if our random number generators are that intact yet to create something so random.
I mean, I felt like that was supposed to be like one of the selling points of this game is that it's super unique and you've never played a game like this before.
I know, that's what they say, but...
So you're just saying...
It's marketing.
What they say is wrong. Okay.
I mean, they can say something like, if you have a room and the walls are red, and the next room, all the walls are red except for one that's blue, they'll be like, oh, look how different this is. Like, this was randomly generated. This one's blue. Even though it's still the same room with 4 walls and a ceiling.
That's fine. You can think that.
In marketing, they can be like, it's randomly generated, and you'll never see the same thing twice. They'll be like, well, this room is the exact same as that one. It's just painted differently.
Man, there are big planets that circle around the sun. All of them are circle around something. They're pretty boring.
You remember Spore and how they Everyone compares Spore to No Man's Land, and Spore said you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You build your own civilization, and you can go and explore all these things.
Yeah.
And then Spore fell flat on its face because they said the same things. They said you can do all this stuff. You have all these options, and then all the options were very similar to each other, and it just wasn't anything.
I enjoyed Spore.
I think we've gotten to the point where you just disagree with me to disagree with me, and there's not necessarily a whole bunch of basis.
Have you played Spore?
Mm-mm.
I've played Spore.
I think that started with the Channing Tatum conversation. I think you're still salty from that.
No, I legitimately think sometimes that you judge a game with like such little information, and
I've
like,
seen so much information.
It's so wrong.
I've
It's
seen
so bad.
so much information on No Man's Sky. I saw it when it first released. When it first came out, I did all this information because my roommate was like, "This game's gonna be so awesome." I said, "Oh, let me check it out."
Okay.
And I looked at it, and this was at least 2 years ago.
Yep. Okay.
So Dead Island 2.
Okay, we'll move on.
Did you play Dead Island 2? Did you play
I
Dead
did.
Island 1?
I did play Dead Island 1.
Here's the thing. I didn't like it. I bet you did.
I didn't like it either.
Wow. Impressive.
First time we've agreed on something in this podcast.
That's not true. Dead Island was super melee-focused combat with zombies, and I only played a little bit of it. There wasn't very much of a storyline, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of how I felt too. I wasn't really impressed. I was like, they're just trying to ride the zombie train.
Dishonored 2, you never played Dishonored.
I did not.
Dishonored 1 was very fun. I think it was free on PSN for the PS3.
Yeah, I think I had already transitioned into PS4 at that point.
Yeah.
But I would have played it if I had not gotten a PS4.
Mafia 3 is coming out.
I haven't played Mafia 2.
Mafia can be comparable, I think, to Grand Theft Auto, except it's more like the 1950s Godfather style. You have kind of those cars, you have kind of that accent, stuff like that. That's interesting. Mass Effect Andromeda, we talked about before, just lost its lead developer, so I don't know what's going on with that. Pokemon Go, interesting. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, I've heard people get really excited about it, but I don't know. I love the idea of Pokemon, and I played Pokemon growing up to an extent, but I don't know. I'm not super excited about it. I usually buy the new Pokemon game when it comes out, and I play it for like 10 hours, and I'm done with it.
Yeah. Pokemon Go is like location-based, where you can find Pokemon. I'm
like anywhere. I know. I don't know how it's going to work. GPS location, I guess.
I guess.
It's a mobile game, right?
But does that mean, you have to go to different locations to get different Pokemon? Because I assume it does.
I think so.
You have to go to Japan to catch Rayquaza or something?
Yeah. That'll be crazy. Homeworld, Deserts of Karak. I love Homeworld. If you've listened, I've talked about Homeworld 2 and 1 before. It's a prequel, real-time strategy game to the original Homeworld.
RTS?
So, excited for that. When I saw that on the list, I was like, ooh, I'm giddy. Because I had no idea.
Are you playing through Homeworld right now?
I was playing through the original Homeworld, but Fallout 4, so that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Also, my desktop just died, so that doesn't help either. It was a tough old bird. I had it for a long time, but its power supply's failing, so I'll have to get at least a new power supply, but I might take this as an opportunity to buy a new computer. We'll see.
You should buy that Starter Story computer I showed you.
I know, that thing was sick. Rise of the Tomb Raider.
It's coming out. PS4. It's already been out on Xbox. Guess what? It sold 60% less than the original Tomb Raider. The one that just came out a year or two ago. Because they only released Rise of the Tomb Raider on Xbox One. And Europe specifically, it sold like 60% less. 66% less.
Yeah.
So when you back yourself into a corner and you're selling exclusively to a system that hasn't sold any copies of the system itself, your sales are obviously going to diminish. So I think they kind of back themselves into a corner that the game itself has gotten so many good reviews.
Yeah, I've heard it's really great.
8.5s is the average, which is a very good review. So when it comes out on PS4, I'll probably get it. I just think it's funny. I think it's entertaining that they released it on Xbox One, and they expected it to do well. It also released the same day as Fallout 4, which is another reason why it didn't do well.
Yeah, if you do that, then you're dumb. Because Fallout's awesome.
That's like releasing Alvin and the Chipmunks on the same day as Star Wars.
I know. That's like, you expect to get money? You expect people to go see your show? Something better's out. Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness, which is a very long name. Star Ocean series is a JRPG series dating back to PlayStation 1. I played the first Star Ocean and the second one, growing up with my brother.
Is this an RPG?
Yeah, it's an RPG. It's kind of like Final Fantasy, but not. The combat system's a little bit different. Stories are unique. It's a good game series. I'm excited to see where it goes. There's a PlayStation 2 Star Ocean I played that I really got into, but it got the difficulty spiked towards the end, and I just couldn't get past the part. And I tried for 3 days, continuously. I got really mad, so I stopped playing, and I never beat it. But I heard the ending of that game was rough.
Because it was hard, or because it was
because it was dumb. It's like a dumb ending. People got really mad about it, so some people got turned off from that. But I'm excited to see what it's about. Another one, Total War Warhammer. If you are a fan of the RTS series Total War, you know what I'm talking about. This sounds awesome. Warhammer is a tabletop game that people play, and they're turning it into a RTS. So that'll be fun, I think. So I haven't played a Total War game that I haven't liked. So I just gotta have a computer that can handle it. Because
you gotta have a computer that can turn on first.
First off, turn on, then handle it. Because the Total War games, they render so many little soldiers that it can wreak havoc on a system if you turn it up. Call of Duty / Battlefield / sports games.
Yeah, the yearly releases of all
those come out. Those come out every year.
Oh look, No Man's Sky's on here.
Hey, No Man's Sky's on here again, because I'm excited about it. Final Fantasy 15 is coming out next year.
You want to talk about Final Fantasy 15 versus Final Fantasy 7, or do you know anything about that?
What do you mean?
Do you know why they're releasing episodes of Final Fantasy 7?
From what I understood, it was just a lot of content or something.
Yeah, the developer said that there's so much content in Final Fantasy 7 that it's the biggest game they've ever created.
Yeah, that
they need to release it on different discs.
Yeah.
What does that say in comparison to Final Fantasy 15 that's released on one disc?
I don't know.
That there's not a lot to Final Fantasy 15. It might be a good game, but in comparison to Final Fantasy 7, his reasoning for having so many discs is because it's such a big game.
Yeah, I don't understand what that means, because Final Fantasy 13 had 100 plus hours of gameplay. That was one disc. So I don't know if I should take this as Final Fantasy 15 is not going to have a lot, or Final Fantasy 7 is just going to have that much gameplay. It's going to have 300 plus hours of gameplay.
I feel like
that
was a reasoning for releasing it episodically.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
I've never played Final Fantasy 7. I realized that when they did, it used to be this huge game.
Yeah, it was 50, 60 hour game. It was 3 discs.
It was 3 discs on the PS1, but on the PS3, specifically with Final Fantasy 15 coming out with 1 disc, which is going to be the game they've been working on for so long, how can they then say that Final Fantasy 7, which they've been working on in tandem, is that much bigger than these 3 discs?
I don't know. Seems a little sketchy. We'll find out. I don't know how to feel about the whole episodic thing. I haven't really thought that much about it, other than I think it's weird.
Yeah.
It's just what?
What if every episode's $60?
I'm going to be so mad. We've talked about it.
Are you going to get it or not get it?
When the price drops, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Because it will. That's what happens. This next one, I put not really, though, because I'm not really excited about it. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Prologue Chapter. That is literally the name of this game. I used to be a Kingdom Hearts fan. I used to be all about it when Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 came out. Because they're great games. Super fun storyline you can follow. They had Final Fantasy characters in there. I was like, oh, sweet.
Now they're just dragging it out, though.
They've taken it and they've dragged Kingdom Hearts fans through the mud.
Yeah. For
years and years with these small little mobile games and crappy
that have so much story in them.
That have and they super complicated the story more than it needs to be, just so they can sell more copies of these mobile games. That people have been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 since
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom Hearts 2 on PlayStation 2. I bought a PS3 thinking Kingdom Hearts 3 would be on PS3.
Yeah.
They skipped an entire generation.
And now they're releasing a Final Prologue, which is...
I'm just it's just a testament to them losing me, because I was a fan, I loved it, and they just dragged me through the dirt too much, and I'm tired of it. I'm done.
So you're not going to get Kingdom Hearts 3?
Probably not. I might. I'll probably get it eventually, but I don't want to buy all this crappy side stuff. I just want the main installment.
Jiminy Cricket should just have a journal in Kingdom Hearts 3 that tells you where the story's at.
I hope there is. If not, someone's going to make a YouTube video for that. It's like 5 minutes, explains that whole story.
There is a YouTube video right now of the Kingdom Hearts chronologically, and it's like 7 15-minute long videos.
Oh my gosh.
He goes really in depth to that. I watched it before I started playing Kingdom Hearts 2 again.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be caught up with what they have. It's a really good video, though. It's on YouTube. Star Citizen?
Star Citizen.
Don't know what that is at all.
That's a game, it's an MMO, space game. Kind of like No Man's Sky, except for MMO, so it's meant to be played with other people. It's been in development for a long time. There's been some sketchy stuff with it. I believe it started on a Kickstarter. Mark Hamill is in it. He's one of the voice actors for the storyline. It seems to be a big game about
space.
It's
Joker in space.
Yes, it's Joker in space. Or Luke Skywalker in space. One or the other. Essentially, it's an exploration space game with trading and combat, and it can be a first-person shooter, or it can be like a flying game. So it seems to be very, how to say, expansive. Supposed to be expansive. Supposed to cover very risk. It's a big risk, I would say, for them trying to do two things with the same game. We'll see how it goes. There's been definitely some controversy surrounding the development of the game because it's taken so long. It's taken longer than what they thought it was going to take, and then people said they donated money to the whole thing, and then
because it's crowdfunded.
Yeah, it's because it's crowdfunded, and so it just never came out. So there's been some sketchiness with it, but it's finally scheduled for 2016. I don't think there's a date yet, specifically, but
so if they keep pushing it back, and people crowdfunded this, and they release it, and it's not very good. How do you think people are more upset that it hasn't been released and they donated to it, or they'd be more upset that they donated to it and it's not a very good game?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like no matter what, you're going to be upset if it's a crappy game. I feel like even crowdfunding games is kind of sketchy because you don't know. Like, it's taking a risk on a game that you have little to no control. Like,
I mean, you don't have to donate like $50,000. You can donate like $5.
But people, I mean, that's true. I mean, there's definitely different levels of risk you can take when it comes to crowdfunding as an individual trying to help a game out.
Right.
But some people put in a lot of money, and they have no say about how the game is developed.
Yeah.
Which is
weird because they're investors, but
right. They're like the producers of the game in a sense, but they have no control over it. So I don't really like crowdfunding for games. I like it for indie games because indie games are small and usually out pretty quickly, and I like supporting small homegrown movements. But this Star Citizen game seems to be so huge. It's just kind of interesting. I don't know what to think. I think it's a little sketchy. I hope it's good. I want it to be good. I want it to be awesome because people have been waiting so long for it. I haven't crowdfunded into it, so I don't have anything on the line.
Did you know Zach Braff tried to crowdfund a movie he was producing?
Did he?
Zach Braff.
Did he get it?
There was a lot of controversy around it. Zach Braff is in a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. Probably best known for
Scrubs,
JD and Scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
That's just funny. That all this crowdfunding. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But whenever I think of crowdfunding, I think of Zach Braff's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Valkyria Chronicles, Azure Revolution.
Yep.
You just read this, but is it similar from what you read to the one on PS3, which they're remaking on PS4?
It is similar in terms of combat and mechanics. Storyline is unique. It's a total different country, though it's still the classic
is it the United States
small
Revolution?
Country. No, it's like the Empire of Rus, which we all know is Russia, versus a small little country called Jutland.
Turkey?
Maybe.
Georgia?
Or Estonia.
Is it the Georgia
the 5-Day War?
Yeah.
The August War? Maybe. I mean, it's classic parallel history, but with fantasy in there. Save the Valkyria people. So that should be interesting. And then
Destiny Year 3.
Oh, Destiny. I'm done with Destiny.
You have that reaction.
That was my reaction.
Destiny Year 3 could probably get me back.
Really?
If they release a new disc instead of just DLC, I might buy Destiny Year 3. Mm-hmm. The only problem I have with it is that they say, you can bring your character from Destiny Year 1 over to Year 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's fine. But I kind of want Destiny Year 3 to be very similar to how like Halo 1 and Halo 2 were.
Mm-hmm.
To where they're completely separate games. You got to redo everything, but do it differently and better.
Yeah.
But Destiny Year 3, I think, will get me back on board if they do it correctly. They definitely need some better stuff. Specifically because I always play it for competitive, for PvP.
Mm-hmm.
They would need like custom games and matchmaking and like a forge mode like Halo had and like all this other stuff, as opposed to just putting literally all their effort into PvE, which is what I feel like they've done.
They definitely have done that.
PvP has suffered so much from Destiny. That's the whole reason I bought it. Mm-hmm. Like I saw PvE as a way to get guns and get armor and get equipment.
Get better for PvP.
To get better for PvP, and that's how I played the game.
Yeah.
But essentially, you do PvE to get better for PvE, and in the meantime, when your friends are on and you can't raid, you play PvP.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like Destiny, but I think Year 3 can get me back on board.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
So those are we just went through the Wikipedia list of games coming out in 2016. I'm going to put down the ones that you were excited for, that I was
thinking people would care about.
People
may generally be aware of what that franchise is.
Yeah. So if you would, as always, tweet us at Underpaid at UP Gamers Podcast on Twitter. You can email us again at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. If you would, rate and review us on iTunes. Those ratings really help. Rates and reviews really help. Put you on like a specific list of listeners and like top lists, and they give you exposure based on ratings and listens and things like that on iTunes. On SoundCloud, it's a little bit different. Again, we're just Underpaid Gamers on both iTunes and SoundCloud. Always a free download for us. Email is underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com, and tweet at us on Twitter at UPGamersPodcast.
Yep, be part of the community. We're trying to build a community of people who just love games, love movies, love TV shows, who like to have conversations. So feel free to contact us in all those different ways. And we'd really appreciate it if you share us with your friends. Because
there you go.
We know you guys are so lovely and friendly and have so many friends.
We know you have friends.
So share us with them. Wait, I have friends. I have at least one friend. I have Tony.
Not anymore.
Oh, dang it. I lost him because he loves Channing Tatum.
And because I don't like No Man's Sky.
I know. I don't know why you're so adamant about both those things. But that's okay. So, that's all we got for today. Thanks for listening.
Yep.
Bye.
That's it.